In an idealistic world, that picture on your screen, these pictures on your screen, it would just be incredible to just sit in peace, have peace of mind, no obligations, no pressure, come and go as you please, not concerned about people getting upset with you. Idealistically, right? But then you got to come to reality. I could upload a video that's 2.5 seconds long just saying don't go. Whoever is asking you to go to a party, celebration, get together, you really don't want to go, family, friend, co-worker, don't go. You could say, oh my God, it's too complicated not to go. Then the next 11 months I have to deal with the constant nagging and reminding me that I blew them off. Me, I'll say don't answer the phone. You, oh my God, if simplicity was $1 billion, you'd be rich. It's still too complicated. I can't ignore their calls. Me, that's how I deal with it. Putting myself in situations that bring mental distress is not my cup of tea. But I completely understand if your life and circumstances do not permit the way that I handle things. I'll be back. Hey folks, how are you guys doing? I hope you're having a swell evening, afternoon, morning, midnight, whatever time you're checking this video out. Stick around, check out the whole video. I'd appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. It would be greatly appreciated. So let's get on with this. I was just thinking about the other day. I had an idea to put together a video to possibly help some people that might be stressed. Because a lot of people, whether you know it or not, they get stressed out at this time of year. And most of the time is because of obligations. Things they don't want to do pertaining to the holiday. Shopping, family get together, still trying to run a household and work. It can be very stressful. Sad. Some people have issues with mental health. You would be surprised, or you wouldn't be surprised. I thought I will put together a video to discuss some strategies you might be able to implement in your life that could help you throughout this holiday season. To those who don't celebrate the holiday, yeah, I'm rock on. I don't put too much stakes in these holidays either, but that's not for me to judge or condemn. I'm just simply talking to those who do the traditional thing, worn out, just thinking about it. You're mentally exhausted, you're worn out, and you might possibly need some kind of help or encouragement to get on through. So, like I said, hopefully the strategies that I'll discuss will help you no matter if you have family, if you don't have family, or you might have an overbearing boss and trying to ditch their party is kissing goodbye that promotion you've been eyeing. Or you'll never live it down if you dare not show up to your traditional family holiday dinner. Your absence will open a new can of worms. Those who already think you're acting like you're brand new, you're too good for them. Once you bought that new house after your promotion, you'll only give them more ammunition against you. Even your moms, your main cheerleader, might begin giving you the side eye, like maybe you do think you're a little too good for little old them. I get it. There is no easy solution, but let me tell you how to deal with overbearing. I'm going to try to tell you how to deal with overbearing, close to toxic, or just plain out toxic folks in your immediate circle that you must interact with on a certain level. But before we get into that, listen to how some people feel about the holiday season. About 43% of American adults report that holiday stress interferes with their ability to enjoy the season, and up to 69% feel stress due to a lack of time or not enough money. Some studies show that around 5% of Americans dislike Christmas, while a quarter have a neutral feeling about it. Of course, the best times I had during the holidays when I was growing up was in grammar school. And that was because the only thing in my mind as a child was exchanging gifts. Now, let me briefly share a little bit about how I used to feel about the holidays back in the day. The best times that I remember about the holiday seasons was when I was in grammar school. And that was because the only thing in my mind as a child was exchanging gifts with classmates and coming together at my grandparents' house, playing with my cousins and eating grandma's delicious chocolate cake, 7-Up cake, and even the fruit cake was delicious. That was the only thing. Fortunately, I didn't have to deal with traumatizing situations. But as I grew older, holiday gatherings weren't as simple and innocent as they had been. So let's get on with this content, folks. Let's talk to the people who have no family. For whatever reason, you're miles away from them, or you just don't have a family. I can't imagine how it feels when you have to hear coworkers and constantly talking about plans they have with family over the holidays. I know you have to grin and bear it, like, oh my God, can I just get over this day and these holidays and just go home? Because unfortunately, you have a lot of people who don't read the signs, They don't see, or they don't even care to notice that you're uncomfortable every time they mention family or something. It's all about them. There are ways you can handle it it's very classy and mature, and not go off on them and make yourself look like the complete jerk. And then people who have families, responsibilities, and life happens, jobs, careers. There are only so many times you can not show up without feeling a chill from your family whenever you do go around them. I gotta work, or I have a project due, will maybe get you 2 cancellations without receiving backlash. And let's face it, people change, including family. And that can be for the good or for the worse. Let's talk about work and career. You want to ditch those cheesy, corny holiday parties, but you got to work with these people. After the holidays are gone, you still have to work with them. You're obligated to attend company parties. If you don't, you'll look like you're not a team player. Then there goes that promotion you've been eyeing. Cindy, the office gossip and outright hater, will possibly make sure that promotion remains a constant dream you will never achieve. Okay, let's get on with strategies. Here are some pointers that you can apply in your life. And remember, these are only suggestions, they're not gospel. You apply them or not apply them. Okay, let's get on with it. Let's start with if you have no family. These are some of the things you can do if you have no family and here the holiday seasons are near. What do you do? You can connect with others. You can volunteer your time, offer your time at a local shelter, hospital, nursing home, or animal shelter. It's very rewarding and soothing to the soul when you get out and connect with people who might be less fortunate than you, where they don't have family either. They don't have anyone. And going there, giving your time to these people, it'll get your mind off of what you're going through. And if it bothers you, some people, they cool. But I'm talking to the people that are bothered, that are stressed, that are possibly sad. Other people could be in the same situation you're in, just waiting for some kind of invitation. Sometimes we got to just put insecurities aside. There's no harm in asking, hey, what are you doing over the holidays? If they say, oh, well, I got family obligations, you're like, oh, okay, well, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's go on. Join local events. Search for community events, group tours, or charity functions happening during the holidays. Connect virtually. Host a virtual book club or have a video chat with friends or family members who are far away. That sounds like fun, huh? If you're on one coast and your family, your main family or the core of your family's on another coast, schedule a virtual gathering. It doesn't take the place of actually being there, but it's better than nothing. Next, focus on self-care and personal projects. Create a cozy atmosphere. Have a movie marathon. Read a book. Listen to some music or decorate your home. Indulge in self-care. Take a long bath. Have a nice meal. Or do a DIY creative retreat. Start a new project. Try a new hobby. Cook a new recipe or tackle a project you've been putting off. Enjoy the outdoors. Go for a hike, drive to see holiday lights, or try a winter activity like snowshoeing. You can also travel or explore. Be a tourist in your own city. Visit local landmarks or museums you never seen before. Do those things that you have been putting off and you didn't have the time to do it. Go on a day trip. Take a scenic drive or visit a nearby park or view. Plan a vacation. Travel to a new place, whether it's somewhere cozy, warm, cabin in the country. Adopt a foster pet. Shelters are often in need of homes during the holidays. Okay, now let's talk to those people who are looking for new, peaceful, cool ways to deal with and cope with a difficult relative over the holidays. Don't we all have them? Well, I don't. Like I said, the last time I was really, really hanging out with my family during the holidays. I mean, not my immediate, but my relatives. It's been years. I can't really think of a time that we hung out together and it was just like a disaster. I do recall that most of the times we hung out, it was fun because we have a family filled with people who are like naturally funny. So somebody was always making somebody laugh with a joke or actions, So even one of our uncles who kind of was like one of them uncles, even he could find himself being funny sometimes, So I was blessed with, not going to a holiday celebration and going home like, oh my God, I will never, ever again in life. I didn't have that. I don't recall having that experience. We just grew apart. Where we used to come together and meet at our grandparents' house, it just stopped. We just stopped doing it. Individual families would just do things with their immediate family, and then we might link up and swap dinners that was cooked, but that was about it. Yep. Okay, now let's talk about those difficult relatives. Even though you might change jobs and our careers, your family will always be there. Well, at least that's how some folks see things. You say that you have someone or multiple people in your family who enjoy conflicts, drama. They get excited when the crap hits the fan, here are 7 tactics for dealing with difficult people. But remember, again, folks, these are only suggestions. Ultimately, you will have to decide to do what's best for you to protect your peace of mind, right? Let's get on with it. These tactics can be applied when engaging with family, friends, and our co-workers. At the end of the day, whether you're related to them or not, they are still people. If you feel you must interact with a high conflict personality during the holidays, what can you do to cope? Let's start here. Most importantly, keep calm. When you feel you're starting to get irritated by someone, slow and deepen your breathing significantly. Taking several long, slow exhales can measurably lower your heart rate and blood pressure. You don't want to leave there with headaches and agitated, and then days later you find out you still irritated. Sometimes it's not even worth it. Like I said, if I know that going to an engagement, I'm going to willfully or unwillfully interact with somebody that agitates me, either I'm just going to not go to the whole engagement, or I'm completely avoid that person unless I have to cross paths with them. Okay, let's go on. Reframe your expectations. Your goal for your time together should be to have a nice time that is free of conflict, rather than attempting to fix the past. An alternate goal could be promoting a positive relationship between your kids and a high conflict family member. Thus, a successful outcome would be them having a positive interaction, even if your interactions with the same family member have some bumps. Don't let them put you in a situation. Don't let them press you up against the wall. Don't let them, don't put yourself in a situation where they will try to humiliate you or degrade you, especially if you have children. You don't want to let people try to humiliate you and degrade you in front of your child. Do you know how that can make your child feel? Seeing their parent, they might not be able to completely understand, but they can feel the room that something is not right. Let's go on. Manage the relationship. Do not engage. Focus on the outcome of a particular interaction, not the relationship itself. Engaging and attempting to repair relationships with emotionally immature people tends to be very unlikely during the holiday season or at other times of the year. Approaching the relationship differently is key. Now, what do you do with those people who, even when you're giving them signs or saying things to chill the atmosphere, wants to become a little tense? What do you do with those people? And you had that cousin that for some reason, every time you come around, it seems like they got an issue with you, and they always want to loud talk and put you on blast or try to draw negative attention to you. What do you do with that person without becoming defensive and then looking like the bad person? Even though people know what this guy or young lady is doing to you, you'll look like the bad person if you confront them out loud. What do you do? If I already know, if I know that if I confront this person or show any kind of anger or aggressiveness or assertiveness, that it'll flip on me, I think at that moment, I think I would just excuse myself. And then if they call, why did you leave so early? But are you serious? Yeah, you didn't see? Well, you know how he is, but just because I know how they are doesn't mean I have to sit there and accept it. And when are you guys gonna stop overlooking it? Because you see, it makes me uncomfortable. And then if I go off on them, then I'm gonna be looking like the bad person. That's not fair. Sometimes you just gotta come straight out and just say how you feel. I never understood people who had an issue with just coming out saying how they feel and just holding that all in. That is a miserable feeling. Let's go on. Set limits on exposure time. Determine in advance exactly how much time you will need to spend during your visits. Is it a few hours, an evening, or are they visiting you for a week? Once you have this number in mind, it can become a source of comfort. For example, telling yourself, this is only for a few hours. I can do this. To further set limits, consider surrounding yourself with buffers. A safer person, safer people, family members, those who are mature are not drinking heavily. Yeah, that's a good idea. To bring somebody like a best friend, somebody that you can trust, who when it gets a little too much for you, they can step in and be like, hey, let's go over, pull the person away that's, causing you irritation, or call you away. Oh, I wanted to tell you something. Let's go upstairs, that's a great idea. Change the subject. Remember, you will not be able to reason with the unreasonable. Keep subjects light. When the HCP wants to pull you into drama, be prepared for this and have alternate strategies and interventions for when it occurs. Distractions, redirecting the conversation to something more positive, or even introducing a shared activity such as a game, a Netflix series, or a sports game may be helpful. And then these things that I'm checking out, I'm reading, because I got these from articles. I was looking some things up, like, that's a good idea. It maybe seem like, some people are listening to this and they can be like, well, why does it seem like you always gotta be the bigger person? Why not just bow? I'm kind of joking, but I'm not. Because you have in some circumstances or situations, you might have to always be the bigger person, because you notice that the people who are the irritants, who cause the situation to become tense and overbearing, those are the ones who always are overlooked. They always get a pass. But the ones who are considered to be mature and try to keep the situation calm, you don't get a pass. Because if you just break on them, if you just like, I've had enough of you and I'm about to tell you how I feel, everybody else will be looking at you like you didn't just sprouted 5 heads. Like, dude, you should have kept your calm. You took it like to 100. And you're looking like, wait a minute, but didn't you see how they kept coming at me? But come on, man, you know how they are. You're always going to get that response. So whether you're going to deal with it and just fight every single person who think you are out of line, or just overlook it, which one you want to do. But if you're ready to throw in the towel, like, I'm done with you and all of y'all, then hey, tell them exactly how you feel and don't go around them anymore. Let's go on. Focus on humor. Sharing positive or funny family memories may help lighten the mood if things get tense. Photo albums and videos may help others recall these positive memories or trigger storytelling. Take breaks. Taking breaks could mean taking a walk, going outside, or even going to the bathroom or another room, or regroup. Taking deep breaths. Try inhaling for 6 seconds, then exhaling for 6 seconds can reduce anxiety or tension and calm your autonomic nervous system if you get triggered. Detach. Mindfulness skills can help you observe the interaction and detach from it emotionally. If pulled into a conflict with a high conflict person, mentally repeating the words detach, detach, detach can help remove yourself mentally and avoid reacting emotionally. Now, as I said, I just remove myself. That's all I can say to you guys. I just remove myself from the situation, especially if I'm going around someone who's constantly egging me on, constantly trying to provoke me, constantly just trying to be the center of attention, or draw negative attention to me. It's only so much I can take. So I'll be the person that will just excuse myself from the whole situation. And then when people start asking, well, why you don't come around no more? Why you don't come around no more? Which it would irritate me. especially if they have been witnesses to what has been taking place in the past or had been taking place in the past. You know, when I finally decide to speak on it, I'll be like, you know, I just got tired of it. The nitpicking, the, you know, trying to embarrass me, trying to egg me, or trying to provoke me. I just got tired of it. And then, you know, if they come back and say, you know, the most infamous line, well, you know how they are, I'll be like, yeah, I know how they are, and you know how they are too. So when you guys gonna stop expecting people to overlook it? Or when are you gonna stop overlooking it? And then you'll find, once you take a firm stance and be like, I'm not dealing with this anymore, eventually people, you know, they'll end up following your lead. It might take some time, but when you say, listen, I'm not, if you guys are not going to deal with this and be honest and fair about this, and this is not right, how this person is allowed to just annoy the heck out of people, I'm not dealing with it. Eventually they're going to deal with it, because if they really want you around, put it this way, if they really want you to come around and they're not secretly enjoying that this person is giving you hell, they'll deal with that person. Be like, listen, I want so and so to come over. I want them to come back and be a part of our family gatherings, and I don't need you causing them to not want to be around us. They don't want to be around you, so they'll end up not being around all of us, and this has to stop. Until somebody step up and do that, I wouldn't go around. And one last thing, they say you can duck out of, well, they said it, but I already said it before, but this is another way somebody put it. They encourage you to duck out of the situation so you can be alone for a moment. You may have to consider making the shh, shh, shh sound as you exhale, as though you are soothing a baby. They say this triggers the same muscles that you'd use when laughing. UCLA's Mark Schoen has shown this to be extremely effective at keeping us calm even when we are uncomfortable. The idea is to prevent our fight or flight response, which can make you or us aggressive and can make it very hard for us to be skillful in a challenging situation. So I can apply these strategies to myself personally. I'm better than I used to be. Trust me, I am. But, you know, as long as we're living, we're learning. Anyone who believes they have it all together, that is someone that, you know, you should really reconsider. Because anytime you feel like there's nothing else you can learn, you know everything, that's a problem. Yep, that's a problem. So, folks, I hope these strategies can be helpful to you. If they are helpful to you, put a comment, put something in the comment, let me know. And that's all I have for you guys. Enjoy your day. Enjoy these last months of the year. If you celebrate the holidays, do not let it stress you out. Folks, stress can really make you sick. We all know it can kill, and it can make you sick as well. Nothing on this earth is worth being sick by stress. For real. Nothing, not even a job or a career. If anything or anyone in your life is causing you to be stressed and causing you to be sick, it's time to change it. For real. All right, folks. That will be it. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for checking this entire video out. If you check it out in its entirety, and sharing, commenting, and all that good stuff, I will see you guys in the next video.